Hi, today we're going to talk about how to fill in and transmit ELOG to the DFO on mobile. To use our app on a mobile device, you would need to first sign up for our product on any web browser. To learn how to sign up for Fisheries app on a web browser, please watch our previous video, How to Sign Up for Fisheries app ELOGs. To start filling in records, please head to Fisheries app. You can download it on the App Store, and to learn how to download that, please watch our previous video, How to Download Fisheries app. Click on the blue Fisheries app icon to get started. You'd be asked to enter your credentials that you have created on the web version. Please note that you would need internet access when first signing in. When you sign in for the first time, the app will take a little bit longer to load in order to download all the information that you need. The app will work in offline mode after you have signed in for the first time. Then you will be presented with a list of fisheries that you own. You likely will not have as many, you will have 2 or 3, and I'll click on ELOG Lobster, which is the fishery I would like to write a record in right now. Here you can see a list of trip records I have filled in previously. The first one, you can see that I have 1 record still open within that trip. But for now, we will add a new trip by clicking the new trip log button at the bottom. For Veracatch's Fisheries app, you can have as many trips open as you would like, but we have a reminder here reminding you that you still have other trips open before opening a new trip for you. Click yes on the reminder and you'll be taken to the overarching trip page. Here you would be able to fill in the date and time of the start of your trip, the region you're fishing out of, license number and VIN number. As you can see, some of these fields have already been filled in for me. That's because Fisheries app will remember your selection and auto-populate fields for you to save time. After filling in all the fields, I'll click Save and Validate to check if my selection is correct. As you can see, there is a green banner up top there saying validated. That means all of my information is correct, and I'll go to the next part by clicking Save and Exit. So what we've just done is create the overarching information for our trip. And for this trip, I'll also add an effort, a bait use, and a landing. So first I'll be creating an effort to record my catch. Click the plus sign beside effort to create a new effort form. As you can see, some of the fields have been auto-filled based on your previous selection to help save you time. Here you'll be filling in your license number, your LFA, and you can fill in whether you have had any interactions with species at risk. And if you click yes, there'll be a banner up top reminding you to fill in the forms. And I'll just click no for the purposes of this demo. It also asks you if you've lost any gear or if you've interacted with any marine mammals. And now we fill in our target species, which is lobster, and we'll fill in the fishing gear as well, which is pots, and also the soak duration, number of gears hauled, and my location. You can simply use the GPS button on the bottom to read your location. After clicking the GPS button, you can also go in and manually change the number yourself. In this example, I'm using decimal degrees for my units of measure for coordinates, but you can also use degrees, minutes, seconds, and this can be changed in the settings of our app. Next, I'm gonna fill in the catch species, which is lobster, and also the kept weight and the product form. If I have caught any other species in this effort, I can also click Add Catch. And you will see that the app would have added a catch number 2 right here, and you can add your extra catch. I can also add an extra effort detail by clicking Add Effort Details here, and as you can see, there's effort detail number 1 and effort detail number 2. But I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to press on the X to cancel it right now. I'll fill in the end date and time of the fishing effort, click Save and Validate to check if there's anything wrong. And you can see the green banner on top. It says validated, and everything is good to go for this effort form. So now that we know everything on the effort form is good to go, I'm going to click Save and Exit. Here we're brought back to the overarching trip information. And as you can see, we have a yellow banner saying trip is missing landing record. It's just a reminder for you because every trip is required to have a landing record. There's also a red bell icon with a number inside the bell. Here it's number 1. The number tells you the amount of errors you have inside your fishery amongst all of your trips. And as you can see here, it's the same warning as before, which is that this trip is missing a landing record. But first, we'll fill in a bait use and we'll worry about the landing record last. So now I'll click on the plus sign beside bait use to add a bait use form. And now I would like to demonstrate more of our save and validate feature. Quantity of bait use is a required field as indicated by the star beside it, but I'm going to leave it blank and click save and validate. And as you can see, we have a red validation error on top reminding you to fill in the field. The field that needs to be filled in has also been highlighted red. So I'm going to fill that field in, click Save and Validate to check if it's okay. It is, and now I'm going to click Save and Exit. One more feature I'd like to demonstrate is the deleting function. Here we have 2 bait use. Say I want to delete the first one. I'll put my finger on it and long press. A pop-up will ask me if I want to delete. I'll just click yes, and it should be deleted. So now we're back to the overarching trip details, and I'm going to fill in the landing form. I'll go to landing, click on the plus sign beside it, and I'll fill in my port of landing. The port that you have last chosen would be rise to the top of the drop-down list so you don't have to scroll down every single time to look for your port. I'll click Save and Validate as usual, and then Save and Exit. And now back to the overarching trip form. You can see that the warning has changed, and the warning now says landing records are not sent. On the top there you can see that we have 3 open, 0 closed, and 0 sent. That means we have 3 forms open, 0 closed, and 0 sent. And the goal here is to move our open records to close by reviewing them, then moving them to send by sending them to the DFO. So the last step here is to review and send all your records. You can do that by clicking the Finish Trip Log button at the very bottom. It will show you all the forms you have in this overarching trip. Next, I'll click Review and Close. On this page, I can review all the information on the forms within this trip. I can press Edit to change any information. If I'm satisfied with all my answers, I can click Close. It's important to note that once you've closed your forms, you can no longer edit them. So now I will click Close, and there will be a pop-up reminding me that I can no longer edit. And the last step is to transmit. Once you've hit transmit, your forms would be sent to the DFO. You can check your transmission status by clicking the back button on the top left-hand corner, and then clicking the 3 lines, which looks like the hamburger menu, and heading to transmission log. Here you would have a record of all of the trips that have been sent to the DFO and their status. You can fill out a trip ELOG with or without internet. If you hit transmit without internet connection, the app will automatically queue the transmission once you're back in internet reception. There is no need to hit transmit again once you're back in range. Of course, you can always check if the records have been sent by looking at the transmission log on the web and on the app as well. You are now ready to use VeriCatch's ELOG. Happy fishing! If you have any questions, email us at elog@vericatch.com or call us at 1-888-221-1951.